I turned my Etsy shop into a multi-million dollar business and something that I have really struggled with over the past 5 years, especially in that process, has been storing my inventory. Back in 2019, I really started running my business more seriously and started stocking products instead of making them all custom. So initially, it was just stickers, and that wasn't a big deal to keep track of in store until I had thousands and thousands of them. And so I had to come up with kind of creative ways to fit them in my apartment. I started out with storing them in a cabinet, and then I expanded them to my closet, and then I stored them under my bed, and that was just for the back stock. When I was actually filling the orders, I set up a bunch of shelves on the wall where I could easily pull one sticker at a time to put into my wholesale orders and my Etsy orders. And then when I finally started stocking bigger products than that, I started running into bigger problems. I had notebooks that were really starting to take off with my Etsy shop, and that took up a lot of space. It was mainly the 2021 planners and spiral and dotted notebooks that I initially introduced in my apartment that were causing me problems. So I didn't have any idea like how to deal with that. And I literally went to Home Goods and picked up like a bookshelf that I could find for cheap that looked sturdy. And I just set it up in my living room and tried to stack up all of my planners and notebooks there. And it did not nearly hold enough. So I had to get like extra pieces of furniture involved and try and get more like mismatched shelves. And this at one point was taking up like a third of my living room in addition to the entire dining room being where I packed all my orders. So that's when I realized I needed to move to a bigger space. So I finally got an office in January of 2021, and that's when I realized I was gonna need a more systematic way to store my inventory. So I started looking for like tall, sturdy, big shelves that I could find that would hold like a good amount of inventory, because the only options I could really find were like wire racks on like Amazon or from like IKEA. They were kind of narrow and they weren't really that tall. They were hard to set up so that the shelves were straight. And if like with the notebooks, they would leave like indents on the notebooks because of having kind of that wire grate to them. So I had to put some like cardboard down or something to make sure the product didn't get damaged. So I landed on getting these giant wood shelves from IKEA. And I was a big fan because they were pretty low price for how big they are. And we still have some of them now. When I was still in that office, I was trying to figure out a way to maximize all of the space that we had on the shelves. So we tried to keep things in cardboard bins. So that's what we did for greeting cards and smaller items like scrunchies or soft things that can't really get stacked as easily, like our zipper pouches. And that was pretty much it for our product variety at that point. So I didn't need any more creative solutions than that. But we really did run out of space really fast at that old office. So about a year after I got in there, we started the process of moving into the office we're in now. So in here, I got more industrialized steel shelves that we could really stack stuff on without the shelves bowing at all, because that was kind of a problem we ran into with the wood shelves, especially when we were putting pounds and pounds and pounds of stationery on there. So we got those bigger, sturdier shelves, and that was really nice because we could kind of customize the shelf height to whatever product we were putting on there, or we could also customize it to the height of whatever cardboard bin that we were using. So right now we have that set up for most of our items. There are some items that we stack on the shelves that don't need cardboard bin dividers, and there are some items that don't really stack on the shelves well, like our desk mats. They're just so big. So we have some of them on shelves if we only have like maybe 20 to 40 of that particular design. But otherwise, we have like 700 or 800 of some designs, and so we keep those just stacked up on the floor, especially because we're running out of space in the warehouse side. We have them over on our office side too, kind of just all scattered about. And then when we moved into this office, made kind of a like revolutionary switch as far as how we store our stickers. We had a sticker wall at my apartment, and then we did the same thing at my first office, and all the backstock was actually pretty disastrously just like stacked up on wire shelves in the next room over from where we packed orders. It was insane. So now we have like 400 or 500, maybe even more, with all of the new state stickers in like different patterns. And so all those need to be organized pretty systematically. So now we not only have them all on shelves with pull-out bins, but we have the stickers stuck to the front of the bin so you can visually see it. And then underneath we have a label that has the SKU of the sticker. Organizing SKUs is like a huge, huge thing. And having those labels for our stickers is super helpful, because also we can get those SKU numbers printed on the packing slips when we go to pack an order. So that way you have like the title and the picture of the item, but then you also have the SKU number. So you can just look at the SKU, walk over to the shelf, and then find it in order. So that's a huge improvement over what we had at my previous office. I'm super excited for our move coming up soon, because we are going to make more improvements to the way that we manage our inventory. In this office, everything is kind of just scattered about right now since we just are running out of space. I shouldn't even say running out, we are just out of space. And I'm hoping to be able to spread out a little bit more so that we can have like stacks of desk mats in their designated spots just kind of along the floor, since they're all in cardboard boxes. There's no real point in putting those on a shelf. And then we're also getting a new storage system that I'm excited about that'll make picking individual SKUs a lot easier. And so I have ordered a bunch of kind of like cardboard material shelves, and so that's going to be really nice. And the advantage of those versus the steel shelves that I ended up putting in our warehouse here is that they're very light. They're very movable with a pallet jack, which we're going to have at our new location. And they're kind of like reconfigurable as we need. We are going to keep the steel shelves for the heavier items, but then the rest of the space that isn't taken up by the steel shelves is going to be a new system I'm very excited about. I will post an update once we are finally in the new warehouse and show you guys like our new system that I'm super excited about, but I think that's going to be a big upgrade for us. And then down the line, something that is like a big goal for me that I'm excited about is being able to stock like so many units of a particular product, which I can't do right now because I don't know that I can sell, 10,000 of one item, but eventually being able to do that and graduate to using pallet racking, which are just like huge, tall metal frames that you can stack pallets on. And so that way, like backstock can be all in pallet racking, and then we'll have a separate area where we pick out individual SKUs or individual products for packing orders. So we're not there yet, and we're not going to be there just at our new warehouse, but down the line, that's kind of the goal. I'm excited to finally have a better handle on how this whole inventory thing works now that I've seen it and done a lot of digging online and all of that, because it can be so difficult and so chaotic to try and work with a bad storage system, especially when you have a lot of SKUs like I do. Also, when you're out of space, it gets really difficult. So very excited for the new warehouse, very excited for the upgrades that we have made thus far, and also I can't wait to make it even better. So SKUs are just stock keeping units. SKU numbers are super helpful. Each item in its individual designs all have a different SKU number. So our desk mats have a range of SKU numbers because the Summer Meadows design has a different SKU than Black Floral, than Countryside, than Waterfall. So that's just a good way to keep everything organized. I feel like it's a very useful term to help explain, like, okay, I have 50 different products that I sell, but really we have like 1,500 to 2,000 SKUs, because like we only have, a desk mat and a zipper pouch and stickers, but then we have 500 stickers and 70 desk mats. SKUs are just an internal number. So like sometimes people will share SKU numbers with wholesale customers and tell them, okay, this item has this SKU number, but every company for the most part does SKU numbers different. Something that's universal are barcodes. If you have UPCs, that's a whole separate thing. But since SKUs are just internal and just for your own organizational purposes, it doesn't really matter how you assign the SKU numbers. So we've pretty much given every SKU a like 3 or 4 letter prefix that describes the product. So stickers is STIC, and then after that it's a 3-digit number because I don't think that we're going to cross the threshold into 1,000. But an example would be STIC 392. And that would be one of our stickers that's on the shelf over there. And then all of our items have that sort of prefix and then a number that coordinates to one design and one size. Most things, when they get manufactured and then shipped to you, you can ask the factory to put your items in boxes of the number that you want. So you can say like, okay, for my coloring book, I want 25 copies per box. And that way you can keep one box open and the rest can be closed, and you know, okay, this box, there's 25. You can count how many boxes you have. Multiplication will tell you how much inventory you have. So that can be really helpful and can kind of solve the issue of like, okay, how much back stock do I keep boxed up and how much do I keep open for order picking? I hope this is kind of helpful for anybody out there who is running a small business and struggling with storage. If you guys have any questions or suggestions, please let me know in the comments. I'm always looking for more information about this because I am by no means an expert, but also trying to share what I've kind of learned over the past 5 years. And don't forget to like and subscribe as well, because I'm going to be sharing the rest of our warehouse move experience, and I'm really excited to show you how that looks every step of the way.
We're gonna play the SKU name game. How many products do you think you could name their SKU off the top of your head?
Maybe 0. I don't know any SKU numbers like off the top of my head. When I pack sticker orders, I used to do that so much and I only did it by visual. Like, I know what Wildflower Bunch looks like, but I don't really know what the SKU number is. I think Wildflower Bunch, if I had to guess, was like 75 or something. I mean, I know like there's a plan 811001 or something, and that's like 8.5 by 11 planner. Oh, but actually I think there needs to be like ACA versus like, I don't know what the yearly one's prefix is.
I think it's time to study.